Hello traders, today is September 24th, 2023. I am Ricky Gaspard, and today I want to talk about support and resistance levels. Support and resistance levels are a very important part of trading, and they help you to define certain levels in price movement that the stock may return back to as it's trading throughout the day. So to get started, first thing you want to do is put a line on your mouse. So you click Drawings, Drawing Tools, and this second one right here with the dollar sign and the line under it, you click on it. That's going to turn your mouse into a pencil. So the way I like to start it is I like to mark out the high of the pre-market and the low of the open. So this line up here would be a resistance line because the stock price could not break through it, which is an important level. And down here, as the stock price fell at open, it found support down here, couldn't break through it, and moved upwards. So as the stock is trading throughout the day, you want to mark out these levels because there's a chance that the stock is going to come back up to the next level, resist, pull back down and retest the level below it, pull back up and possibly test that level again, or it could break through and reach on up to the next level. So we've got these two marked out, and just pretend that these candles are not here. This is going to be a level here because the price tried to get through it but couldn't, and the price decided to come back down here to test this support. It didn't quite make it down to support, so it came back up, sold off a little. Then this line became resistance. Chances are it bounced here a couple of times, but then it finally broke through. So when a stock breaks through resistance, you kind of need to wait on it to return back down and see if it breaks back through that line that was resistance. In this case, the stock did break through the line, and it may come back down here to retest this support level. It doesn't have to return down this low. It could actually just go right on back up, and I'll get it rolling here. It could just go back up and bump underneath the bottom side of this line, which would be resistance, as the stock is trading throughout today. It could actually bounce between these two lines for quite some time. So what you have to decide is there enough money between these lines for you to invest into this stock? I wouldn't do it on this one because it's only about 12 cents. So you can see here it broke through this resistance line and it's headed up to another level. But the stock price could turn around and bounce off the top of this line, and that would turn this line into a support level because it found support here before returning back up. So as the stock's trading throughout the day, you want to mark these levels out, and a good way to do that is to make sure that if you're going to put a line here, look back and see if the stock had also previous trouble getting through below or above that level, and that'll confirm that this is a true resistance line or support level. So you can see the price of the stock is coming back down. This would be support on the top of the line. So if it can't get through this level, the price could turn around and go up to the next level. So let's watch it here for a second. And while we're waiting on it, let's go walk through it again. The price fell. We put a line at the low of the body. The price could not break through it. That means the price found support here. The price started going back up, and it ran into resistance at this level. So then the price came back down to retest this level, which would be support. This would be resistance. It could not break through here. The price returned back up and did break through this resistance level, but couldn't hold the price and came back down below that level. Turned around, broke through that level once again, and could not sustain being above that level and broke back down again. So currently the stock is fighting these levels. So it's trying to break through. The bottom of this line would be resistance. If it resisted, it would come back down, but it broke through again. Now it may head up to the next level. That level could be here at the top of this candle. I like to go back and confirm, and I don't see another price that rejected that level. So we're basically waiting to see if the stock is going to come up to this level, which would be the high of pre-market. So if it bounces below this line and starts coming back down, this would be a resistance level. We'll give it a few minutes here and see what it's going to do. Now, it does not have to return to this level. It can turn around right here, come back down, and retest support here before then coming up and trying to get through resistance level here. So if the price is moving up and it turns around and falls, it was resisted here, making this a resistance level. If the price falls, such as here, and can't get any lower, and you put a level there, this is going to be support. So it found buyers down here so that it could return back up to here. It's not really difficult if you mark these levels throughout the day so that you know when the price is moving around throughout the day, it has a possibility of turning around at this resistance level or going up at this support level or breaking through this resistance level back down to here, going back up to retest this level. You need to really plot out the price movement throughout the day. Stick with the chart if it's moving well. And you can play the price between these levels, providing there's enough money in it and you can buy enough shares to make a profit. So there are some factors that come into play here that can affect these levels. Support, resistance. And what could affect them? Let's say news comes out and it's bad news. This price could turn around and it could blow through all of these levels down to a very low new level. It may find support down below this lowest level. Or it could be good news, and you'll see 3 or 4, 5 or 10 of these green candles just blow through the upper resistance levels and set new levels up higher than the price where it is currently. So they're not 100% reliable, but under normal market conditions, these really can help you to get in, make a few dollars without a lot of stress. Sometimes if I can't find these levels, like right now we're on a 1 minute chart marking them out as they happen. So we can see the price is coming down. It could come down to this level, which would be support, and bounce right back up. Or it could just turn around at this level and go back up. So let's say the stock has been bouncing around all day long and you're stuck between levels. There's really not enough money there. Sometimes I like to change stocks. Find a stock with a higher ATR, and ATR is average true range. And what I mean by that is, let's say this is a $12 stock and it's moving, swinging up and down as much as $1 throughout the day. You can mark these levels as it's moving around and pretty much plot out where your entrance would be and where your exit might be. You may decide, hey, it's going to break this level again, and you may hang on to test the next level. You can see the price did not come up here to the pre-market high. It fell short of getting that high and immediately turned around. So right here is probably a level, and the reason I'm going to mark it is because the stock turned around here. It had resistance here, could not get through, and broke back down. It had resistance here and came back down. If you look back in time, you can pretty much spot these levels. As long as you have more than just one candle touch and you have multiple candle touches, that would be a true resistance level or support level. So now we're pulling back down. We could come back down. If it bounces off the top of this line, that means it found support. And once again, it could just turn around here and run back up here to see if it could break through this level. It all depends on the buyers and the sellers, who's stronger, and the algorithms. So pretty much support and resistance levels can help you with your trading. It's very important to include these, even if you're using the V4, V6, the trend chaser. If you're using any of those, still draw out these levels and you'll have a greater confirmation on your arrows to determine the direction of the price. So the prices came back down to this support line. It's bouncing off the top of it. If it finds support here, it should turn around and make an effort upwards. And we'll give it a few minutes here. It's on a 1-minute chart. Shouldn't take too long before we decide which direction this price is going to head. Okay, it broke through support. Now it's heading back down. Looks like it's going to head all the way back down to a new level or to a current level. So the price turned around. The buyers are trying to come back in. It needs to break through this level. The bottom of this line would be resistance. It's going to resist getting any higher. Or it could break through and retest this resistance line for heading back down. You have to pay close attention to price action. That's what's causing these levels to be created. And quite honestly, this stock that I chose for a demo is quite volatile. It's not one I would like to trade, but it gives a good demonstration of these levels. And because it's so volatile, choppy is another word, we could get some false levels in here. Normally, when a stock is not this volatile, it's much easier to mark out your support and resistance lines, which would be your trend reversals. And if you're using the trend chaser, it would be quite easy to mark out these support and resistance levels. Every time you get a low and a turnaround, you can mark out the levels. So we did break through this support level and it came all the way down to here. Now it's going back up to test this level and it couldn't get through it. It formed a new candle drop down to here. Now it's coming back up to test this resistance level again. And it's trying to get through. I had trouble finding a good stock because the market's been so down lately. But I think you're getting my point about breaking through certain levels, this one being support, the bottom side of this level being resistance. If it breaks through, comes down, and cannot get back through it, the top side of it becomes support before it runs up to the next resistance level. You can plot these out all day long. This would be a level right here. You can see how many touches we have on that level. This would be resistance. It tried to break through. It could not get through it. As long as you have 2 or 3 bounces on a certain area, it's safe to put a line there. We had 2 or 3 here. We had 3 here. We had 1, 2, 3 here. We had 1, 2, 3 here. We had 2 here. And you can look back and see if it had a good pre-market, then we would see that it was bouncing off of those levels as well. But since we didn't have a pre-market, I can't really base it on that. I have to base it on from market open and start marking out my levels. So that's about it for support and resistance. Really wished I could have found a better stock to give you a better demonstration. So the next time you're trading, go over to drawings and load that drawing tool up with the $ and the line under it. When the market opens, if the stock opens here and drops, go ahead and put a line here. Look back at pre-market and see if it was trading good in pre-market and mark out the levels in pre-market. If they're clean, and you can really tell that they're levels. And these levels will pretty much apply to after market open. If you can't get your levels set from pre-market, then just start marking them out as the stock price starts changing directions, looking for multiple touches of a level. Those will be your true levels. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as I said, apply these to the trend chaser, to the V4, to the V6. Get used to marking out these levels. And they're not really hard. It's just that I picked a choppy stock. So we marked out one here. We marked out one at the low after market opened. The stock came up here and resisted, and we marked that level. We didn't need to mark another one here because we already know where our support level is. The price came back up, set a new level here, came back down, broke through that level and set a new level here. Could not stay above this level, which is resistance, broke back down through several levels, came back up and retested this level. Now we're waiting to see if it's going to finally break through and run on up. Not a guarantee. This stock could bounce around in this zone all day long. Now, if we're in a bull market, it'll be totally different. It may set new levels all day long before pulling back. Of course, it'll pull back slightly between the levels as it's retesting them. But it's very important. Try them with V4, try them with V6. Start setting the levels. Watch how the price responds to those levels. You can plan an entry pretty much more precise than just guessing of what the price is going to do. Especially if you're using these levels along with the indicators, you should make a better judgment on entries and exit. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And as always, God bless. Hey, I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know how I am doing. It always helps the channel out, lets YouTube know that you like my content. I really appreciate your help. Thank you.